is on. Second collector fixtures right, check that throttle, get down, cyclic pedal, rotor brake, assist engage. Circuit breakers are all in. Carb heat is off, unlatched. Fixtures full rich, mixture guards installed. Landing lights are off. Avionics switches are off. Clutch is disengaged. Altimeter set for fuel elevation. Governor switch is, are you governor switch on or off?
I usually do governor on.
Okay. Governor switch is on. Alright, so I'm going to give it 1. With the T-tape verify close. Alright, battery, strobe switches are on. Alright, clear right.
Clear left.
altimeter 3003. Visual approach in use, landing and departing runways 28. Hazardous weather advisories for California and coastal waters available on flight service frequencies. Use caution for increased wildlife activity and birds in the vicinity
All right,
of
check,
Hayward
check.
Airport.
All right, have you?
Advise on initial contact.
How do you read?
You have Oscar.
I hear you well.
Oscar.
Hayward Tower information, Oscar 2150 Zulu, wind 300 at 10, visibility 10. View clouds 1,500.
So if they don't give a gust measurement, then it's just...
They do, sometimes. I don't know how much the gust spread has to be in order for them to report a gust spread. Maybe more than 5 knot gust spread or something, but they do usually.
Increased wildlife activity and birds in the vicinity of Hayward Airport. Advise on initial contact, you have Oscar. Hayward Tower information, Oscar 2150 Zulu, wind 300 at 10, visibility 10. View clouds 1,500.
So I was reading this book about the R22, and I think, I'm not sure if they had it wrong, but just kind of verify. So since the engine is pointing backwards, the right magneto is on your side and the left magneto is on my side.
Yes.
So that's the way it's labeled, right? So the right magneto is your side.
Yes.
Okay. And then when we're checking the magneto, if I'm checking the right magneto, it's grounding the left magneto. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Because we're checking the right magneto.
Yes.
So it's grounding the left magneto.
Yes.
Okay, all right. All right, so I'm in the green. So I'm gonna go. Is it to 77? 1,000, 2 1,000, good. To both. 1,000, 2 1,000, good. To both. All right. Check is good. Carb heat check. You see a rise and a decrease in the RP. Okay, good.
Hayward Airport information, Papa 2251 Zulu, wind 260 at 9er, visibility 10, sky conditions few at 1,400. Temperature 19er, 2.13, altimeter 3001.
3001.
Runway 28 left in use, landing into party runway is 28. Advise on initial contact. You have ATIS information. Papa.
Alright, Papa.
Hayward Airport information, Papa, 22510, wind 260 at 9er, visibility 10, Scott conditions few at 1,400.
I like to let it go ahead and idle. If you bring it all the way back down to the detent,
Visual approach,
I like to make sure, especially if we're doing just the detent.
Oh.
Yeah, just the detent, just to make sure it does have a strong idle, especially if we're going to be doing auto rotation practice and stuff.
Okay.
Hayward Airport information, Papa, 2251 Zulu, wind 260 at 9er, visibility 10.
What would you like to see?
Few at 1,400.
I mean, between 50 and 60 is good. 55, 54 is okay.
Alright, so that's okay.
Yep.
28 left in use, landing into party runway is 28. Advise on initial contact, you have ATIS information, Papa. Hayward Airport information, Papa, 2251 Zulu, wind 260 at 9er.
Okay.
Alright, doors are closed. Alright, so...
Closed and latched.
1,400. Temperature 19er, 2.13.
Temperature 19er, so 22.6, 23.5.
Visual approach runway
Okay.
28.
23.5.
Landing into party runway is 28. Advise on initial contact, you have ATIS information, Papa.
Okay, Governor is on. I can collector fictions. Coming off.
Hayward Airport information, Papa, 2251 Zulu, wind 260
The
at
warning
9er,
lights are on.
visibility
Just gonna roll up.
10.
Let the Governor take over.
1,400. Temperature 19er, 2.13. Altimeter 3001. Visual approach runway 28 left in use. Landing into party runway is 28. Advise on initial contact. You have ATIS information, Papa.
Alright, gonna do low rotor warning.
Yep.
Hayward Airport information, Papa, 2251
You just
Zulu, wind 260
you don't have to pull it up too much.
Scott conditions few at 1,400. Temperature 19er, 2.13. Altimeter 3001. Visual approach runway 28 left in use. Landing into party runway is 28. Advise on initial contact. You have ATIS information, Papa. Hayward Airport information, Papa, 2251 Zulu, wind 260 at 9er, visibility 10.
Go ahead, are you done with this?
Few at 1,400.
I'll switch it over.
Alright.
And number 23 Sierra, Roger.
Hayward Tower, 34 Delta Romeo, radio check.
Hayward Tower, Sierra 773 Lima Gulf is 7 miles northeast with pop-up.
Sierra 773 Lima Golf here, retiring to right base for runway 28 right and report Cal State.
Report Cal State 28 right, 3 Lima Gulf.
Hayward Tower, 34 Delta Romeo, how do you read me now?
And number 734 Delta Romeo, Hayward Tower, I got you loud and clear now.
Okay, I don't know what happened there, gentlemen. I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. I didn't really change much of anything. 34 Delta Romeo, I'm ready.
So how do you get to different screens then from here?
And
From
number
here,
Romeo,
you go back.
Roger, did you want to
Go
hold down?
back. Okay.
Left downwind.
But I wanted to set, Hayward as the airport.
Hayward, okay.
Roger, you come in
So
west
then,
downwind. Remain clear to class Charlie. Runway 28
Hayward,
left at Alpha
activate.
Pacific.
Yeah.
And then we're here, so when we leave the airport,
Oh, then it'll
it
get
will
more
take us-
interesting.
yeah.
Alright. Should I pick up or should I wait till they depart?
You can pick up.
Alright.
We have Papa. We'll do a right crosswind departure.
Alright.
Hayward Tower, this is Jet Prop. 222 Zulu Mike, we are on a 7 mile straight and final runway 28 left. We've got
Very
Oscar.
nice.
Yeah, prop 222 Zulu Mike, Hayward Tower, continue.
Let's hover, you have that cone to your right, but there's also this sunshade in the helicopter to our left that may blow out. So if you're doing great.
Sunshade on the helicopter.
On the inside the helicopter.
Okay, because the other door's on.
Yeah.
Alright, so
There we go.
where do you want me to go?
If we just slide to the right a little bit,
Oh,
I think
alright.
we're right on top of that cone.
Sierra 3 Lima Golf, runway 28 right, clear to land.
28 right, clear to land, 3 Lima Gulf.
Hayward Tower, 34 Delta Romeo, radio check.
Come forward and down a little bit.
I don't have you as clear as you were earlier, but
There
I
we
do
go.
hear you.
That's good. I just wanted to get clear of that cone back
Okay,
there.
if you don't mind, I'll check again in a couple more minutes.
Yeah, not a problem. That one's very staticky now.
And Hovering at 21 and a half.
33 Sierra. If able, begin your base turn now. Your number one side of a jet, prop 4 mile final, runway 28 left. Clear touch and go only. 28 left, clear touch and go, 33 Sierra. 32 Zulu Mike, LB number 2 following Cessna, left base, runway 28 left, clear to land. Time for the parallel runway, right base for the parallel is clear at 900. Roger that, clear to land number 2, 28 left for 2 Zulu Mike.
Hayward Tower, helicopter 479er Sierra Hotel at Meridian, requesting a right crosswind departure with Papa.
Helicopter 479er Sierra Hotel, Hayward Tower, roger, standby.
Standing by.
All right, can you do a little pedal turn, look down the runway? I always like to know why I'm standing by.
Have you loud and
Probably for the people that are...
See you later.
For the airplane on final.
Okay,
She's been
25,
cleared to
35,
land.
Newport up to Romeo. Thanks for your help.
No problem.
All right, this is a little bit high of a hover. If we had an engine failure right now, we would be hard pressed to cushion
Right.
with the rotor RPM that we have.
Helicopter 4 Victor Bravo, traffic 3 miles northeast of Cal State for Oakland, descending at 3,800. Is a global. You can contact NorCal Approach. See you later.
Looking for traffic and contact NorCal, helicopter 4 Victor Bravo, thank you.
You can face into the wind
If
you want. You want to decrease your workload for a minute? Good though.
Is that me?
I don't believe so. So by now we're just polishing things up. We're getting ready for your check ride, right?
Well, that's correct, but
In the future
whenever
sometime.
that, yeah, whenever
No.
that's ready.
No rush. But
Yeah.
Mark said you had completed all the minimums.
Correct, I have all the requirements.
Number
Okay.
2 Zulu Mike, stay parking.
Need to go over to Meridian.
Number 2 Zulu Mike, roger, left.
Not to say that I'm proficient in everything, but
Contacting ground point
Well.
4 left at Delta.
everything could use some work.
I got my training in the Army, and they pushed me out of primary at 50 hours or 51 hours or something. So it was
Helicopter 9 Sierra Hotel. Make a right crossing below 1,500 till you street crosses. Taxiway Zulu, clear for takeoff.
Taxiway Zulu, clear for takeoff. Right crossing departure approved. Remain under 1,500 until east of 3 crosses. 479er Sierra Hotel, thank you.
That's 330 runway 28 left, clear for the after.
28 left, clear for
all
the
right. So by now we're at about 10 feet. So ideally we'd be a little bit lower in a hover, just because of that highly unlikely but terrible condition of an engine failure.
Red lights out, top of green, 3 in the green, fuel, car key. All right, clear left, center, and right.
Yep.
Turning right. Clear to the right.
go straight ahead and then head down towards the backside of those hills.
Okay. You want to go over the hills or to kind of down the
We'll stay
down
on,
the center?
on top of them,
Okay.
and then as we get a little bit further to the east,
Hayward Tower,
we'll kind of go out and over these hills. I don't want to go in this direction particularly because
That's Charlie.
just today we got a renter went and landed in one of the confined area spots that we usually land. And there were a couple of regional parks agents on the ground right near where he landed. So they got his tail number and everything, and so one of the sergeants came by, the guy who flies the Eagle flight down the hangar in Hayward. Came over and talked to us about how it's illegal to land in the regional parks and all that stuff, so I just don't want to antagonize them in that area particularly. Okay. They are... their jurisdiction is across all of the regional parks, so, but at least we're not going back around the same area.
Okay.
We got to do what we can to coexist.
Yeah, exactly.
In the meantime, we're checking out available landing areas. The wind is basically from 30, I think it was.
Yeah, so
generally
I'd have to do like a 180.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, which makes it a lot more important to...
Hotel, pre-change approved.
Pre-change change approved. 479 Hotel, thank you.
Which makes it a lot more important to be looking off to your side at
Thank you.
prospective landing areas.
Turning downwind is a Cessna. For that traffic, fly towards the departure end and follow that traffic in the pattern.
All right, we can head up over this hill to our 2 o'clock.
Okay, I'm past the mobile home park, so I'm clear of...
We'll go towards the departure end of the 28 left, and then we'll follow that traffic that's just on the crosswind right now. We have in sight. Safe flight 16. Safe flight 16, thank you. Number 2, runway 28 left, clear for the option, and make left close traffic.
Number 2, 28 left, clear for the option, and we'll make left close traffic, Safe flight 16.
33 Sierra, you're number 1, runway 28 left, clear for the option.
Number 1, 28 left, clear for the option, 332.
It's also very interesting to me how you could be like, oh, there's a wide open field, and then you realize 2 seconds later that it's on a hillside.
Oh, yeah, like over there.
Not super fun.
Requesting touch and goes with Papa.
739 Uniform Lima, Hayward Tower, and a right downwind for runway 28 right.
Okay, so I'm supposed to be looking, well...
28 right, 98.
So generally, rule of thumb is if you know you have to make a 180, if you know that the wind is behind you, then something that's right next to you is going to be a prospective landing area.
Okay, so stop looking ahead of you and like look at like where you passed.
Kind of, I mean, if you look ahead and you're kind of scouting out the area, then you can at least have it logged in the back of your mind, oh, there was that spot that I saw just a second ago. Okay. And then you look around for it. You can always...
Use caution for a flock of geese, opposite direction.
That silly flock of geese has been hanging around the airport.
Westbound, low level.
But yeah, you kind of catalog these places in your mind. And at least, what the important part, at least as far as I'm concerned, about making a turn, knowing that you have to make a turn, is you put eyes on it, and then you start making the turn. Because if you make a turn blindly...
And you don't know where you're going.
You could come out of your turn, and then you're too close to it. And it's really hard to lose that space and stay in a stable auto-rotational descent while you're trying to like get to something that's really close.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna go to that.
Yeah, you could go down there
right now.
That would be nice. So the way we're going to do it out here, just because we haven't flown together before, I would say simulated engine failure, and then I roll the throttle towards me down to idle, and you would respond in a method to preserve the engine, the rotor RPM. I would expect to see, collective full down, a little aft cyclic if necessary, and then you make a move towards landing towards the landing area. Okay. So I'll try to do it. You're going to be, you're training to private pilot level, so any examination or any, I'll try to do it where there is actually a landing spot that you could land with the skills that you have by now.
Okay.
Right here, it would be pretty difficult, wouldn't it?
Right here, it would be very difficult.
Yeah. And I worry myself about that all the time. I mean, it doesn't matter how many hours you have, landing in the tops of the trees is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
So, so if we
okay, so rather than flying directly, okay, so I'd like to say, oh, those are pretty flat spots there. So rather than flying directly over it, would I be better off like flying down here, like, oh, okay, I could turn to make that?
Sure. Yes, that's thinking
right.
ahead.
Right, or I could turn there to the
yes.
left to make
you
that.
could turn there to the left to get to that little basin down there. The difficult thing about training around here, that would be a great landing area, but there's cows. In an emergency situation, I would go for it because it's not like they're going to move. So, I mean, you would have a chance of colliding with the cow.
Yeah, but that's not too flat either.
It's kind of a bowl, yeah. But that's about as good as you're going to get around here, honestly. A difference or a danger of aiming towards a hilltop is, yeah, let's keep our altitude right about here. The danger of landing on a hilltop or aiming towards a hilltop is that if you're coming crossways, you know, maybe you don't get your flare enough and you go down the other side.
Oh.
Or if you're coming long ways on a ridge line, then maybe you slide off to the right or left.
Oh, okay.
They are viable options, like this one right here. I would go for that. You just have to keep an eye on.
Lima, right at Echo Ground Point 4.
There's risk everywhere.
Yeah.
So first thing is when we're coming down for a flare, we reduce that forward airspeed as much as possible in the flare.
Okay.
Transferring that energy.
They don't slide as much.
Yeah, so we don't slide, we don't catch the skid on something and tumble. All of these things that can be dangerous. So let's do let's go over this way to our right.
Flight 16, number 2.
See if there are any, I see a string of wires there, so maybe on the other side of the wires.
Left, we've got the traffic in sight, clear for the option, Bayflight 16.
You see those?
Yeah.
There's some bald hills past there that aren't too steep.
Okay, we'll just cross over the tower.
Yeah. So kind of taking a store of what these hilltops look like. That's pretty level down there.
Okay. I don't think I have a great judge of altitude either, but
yeah, above the ground.
Yeah.
Well, above these hilltops,
how far do you think
I think we have about 300 feet.
Okay. All right, so that's kind of low.
That's kind of low, but it's pretty typical. So what we're avoiding out here is livestock and visible people. So we'll talk about the first couple spots that we're going to aim for, just so that we're both on the same page.
Okay.
How about we do kind of a slow left turn and we aim for this hilltop area here.
Okay.
So
should I go up a little? Should I climb a little bit, or you?
Yeah, you can climb a little bit.
We're good.
Climb a couple hundred feet.
All right.
And then start making a slow left turn. And we'll just do a regular straight in, try to make it really simple in the beginning.
Okay.
Get an idea of what the wind is doing out here.
And how do you figure the wind? I mean, how do you look at the wind? Because I don't see the trees moving too much.
No, I don't see a whole lot of trees. I don't see a whole lot of dust. There's not even much grass out here. So we can look at our instruments. This has a nice ground speed indication versus our airspeed. So right here, there's not much difference. Ground speed is a little bit more than our indicated.
Okay. So maybe there's not a lot of wind then. With the turnaround.
There's about 5 knots behind us here. Getting close to 10 knots behind us. So I would say it's coming from 30. All right, so we're aiming for this hill, this ridge line here.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
For 9, 10 o'clock now. And when I say power recovery, if I say power recovery, we'll roll the throttle gently towards me and wait for the needles to marry, and then gradually raise in the collective to have power and keep a 60 knot climbing attitude. Okay? All right, don't slow down, don't slow down. All right, simulated engine failure. There you go, there you go. Airspeed outside.
Right traffic for 28 right.
Go. That's good, that's
Flight
good.
16, affirmative, make right traffic for runway 2 right. Thanks,
All right, and outside.
330, runway 2 left,
RPMs,
clear for the option.
airspeed, outside. RPMs, let's get those RPMs a little bit further in the green. There we go. Outside. A little bit of right pedal, there we go. Good, RPMs in the green, 60 knots, this is great. And let's just see through the flare. So we'll check up just a little bit, and then flare, flare, flare. And then we tighten it, tighten it, tighten it. And then we click on and settle.
All right.
How'd you feel about that?
That was pretty good. We should probably maybe we should do a little bit of the glide thing.
Okay, some glide practice?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a left turn out here.
10 lights out to the green, 3 in the green. RP.
That would have ended well, I think.
Okay, yeah, I think we would have walked away from that.
Yeah.
Bay flight 16, runway 2 right, clear for the option.
28 right, clear for the option, Bay flight 16.
It's really hard when you're out over a ridge or a valley like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to gauge how much altitude you actually have to work with when you're looking for a point on the side. At least that's what I found from working out here with other students, is that sure, we have a lot of space over the canyon, and maybe going down to the bottom here would be the best option. But that would give you the most time to stabilize your glide and everything.
Right.
When I said simulated engine failure, you seemed to wait quite a while.
Oh, okay, before lowering the collective.
Before lowering the collective.
Okay.
That's why I jammed it down.
Okay.
So, it's hard.
Okay, so I'll get faster on that.
Yes, because you literally have 2 seconds.
Yeah.
At cruise power, you have about 2 seconds to get that collective down to preserve your rotor RPM. Okay, so you want to just do some glide practice out here?
Yeah, or we can, well, maybe we can go, but maybe we'll just try to power recovery or something.
Okay. And not do the flare so much?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back towards the same area. It looks pretty open right now. It doesn't look like we're disturbing much. So again, how'd that cross-check feel? Did you feel like you were cross-checking quickly enough?
Tower bearing 77.
I need to work on that. Yeah, the scan, I could work on.
Just to keep in mind, we probably don't want to be much higher than 2,500 feet, just because there are these guys coming in for Oakland.
Baron 7 Julie Bravo, runway 28 left, Alpha 1, line up and wait. Traffic approaching the 6-mile final, global express.
All right.
28 left, line up and wait, 7 Julie Bravo.
Not sure.
Hayward Tower,
A little bit longer.
with you, visual for...
Okay, so with this one, we'll end with a power recovery before the flare.
All right. Traffic
Okay.
holding in position.
All right, simulated engine failure. Go outside. For RPMs, airspeed. Get that airspeed back a little bit. Outside. RPMs, airspeed. Outside. Where are you aiming for?
Alright, over
Going
here.
there. Outside. All right, let's do a power recovery. Roll the throttle towards me gently. There we go, they're married. Keep this attitude. Oh, you would have gotten that spot perfect. Nice and gentle with the power. Let's do a climbing left-hand
Flight
turn.
16, taxi back.
Affirmative, big flight 16.
Flight 16, right at Echo
Past
ground
the
point
trees
4.
are totally fine.
Right at Echo, ground plane 4, big
Oh,
flight
there's a
16.
hawk up there.
Baron 7 Juliet Bravo, right crossing approved, below 1,500 till east 3
All right,
crosses,
let's
runway
pull
2
back to
left, clear for
60
takeoff.
knots and get our climb.
So left, clear for takeoff, east of 3 cross.
Okay, that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
33 Sierra, extend down
Good.
for runway 2 left, number 2, following a global express.
I love these
approaching
things
3 miles
mostly
final, runway 2
because
left, clear for
I enjoy making the helicopter, like for the few seconds that you're headed towards the ground, your adrenaline is pumping and you are keeping the helicopter doing what you want. I found that you were kind of pulling back on the cyclic a little bit, and keeping our airspeed at 60, 65 is really important. So we have that energy to push up into the rotor system so we can
Hayward Tower, stay
push in at the bottom.
Left downwind departure to read Helvia. 9027 Hotel.
That's 27 Hotel, roger, stand by for traffic. And wind check. Wind 26013.
I would do it into that flat area, but there's a house there. I don't want to get too close to them.
No. I don't want somebody calling on anybody on us.
Nah. So let's keep it right here at about 2200,
Knock out departure.
just so we can at least be aware that we're near an approach corridor. So we'll do one more of these straight in, and then maybe we'll move to another spot and practice some turns.
Okay. Yeah, I could use some practice on that. Okay.
All right,
Sorry,
everything's
lights
in the
on.
green. All right, simulated engine failure.
What's that? Is that a kite or something?
What's that?
Kite?
Oh, no, that's a Mylar balloon.
Oh.
Ay, ay, ay. That's about where I find them. Okay, outside. Where are we aiming for? Let's go to the right a little bit. There we go, see? We need to get a flat spot. Airspeed. Okay, let's do a power recovery. Okay, don't pull back. Keep this nice and steady. Pull in our power. That would have been good. So we had a little bit less. We had a couple 100 feet less, didn't we?
Yeah. Okay, so we're 1,500.
Nice. Let's go up this way. We can follow the bare land here and then cross at the towers. Good. That looked better. We were headed for a good spot. You just need to, when you're doing that cross check, you need to make sure you're headed towards a spot that's going to work.
Cross to it right, and we're going to ground.
Because if you don't choose a spot pretty early, there we go, avoiding the cows. If we don't choose a spot early, then you don't know if it's going to work or not.
That's 27 Hotel, on a 1.5
Right.
mile final test, and we'll get going to left down
So
behind them.
you're looking for a consistent glide angle in your descent. So if that angle is not coming in, you're like, oh crap, I'm short. Need to look for another spot. Or you employ measures to, I generally look for another spot. But in that situation, you know that at the bottom, you could turn left and continue your glide down to the bottom of the canyon if you really had to.
I see.
Hayward Tower, base flight
Okay,
16, holding
so you
short
see this
to
spot to our
right
left
at
here?
Bravo, ready for
Let's head this direction, and we're going to practice making a 90-degree turn.
The near one?
Yep. This right here off my shoulder.
Base flight 16, Hayward Tower, make right close,
Okay, the close
traffic,
one.
runway 2 right, clear for takeoff.
Start making a turn here, and we can roll out. There you go. All right, simulated engine failure. Right, in the turn, we get higher centrifugal force, so we have to catch that. All right, so it looks like we're overshooting a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Our airspeed is pretty high. Let's do a power recovery. There we go. And let's do a climbing right turn, nice and gentle. Let's just keep our turn going. So that one, our airspeed. That one we got our airspeed pretty high. So something to keep in mind if you have to make a turn. You check up a little bit and then you make the turn.
Okay.
Because you know that greater G-forces will be pushed into the rotor system, so you'll need to account for that. The other thing, though, is because you're not, when you roll out, because you're not turning anymore, you have to lower it again so that you don't drag down your rotor system. So it's kind of tricky.
Okay.
You know, we're pretty close. Why don't we... are you on a tight schedule?
No.
Because I could go over just a little bit. I wanted to, over here, over by the reservoir over here, I like to take folks up to a really high altitude and just spend some time gliding.
Yes, that would be good, I think.
Okay, so let's head straight for the reservoir, and we'll stay as close to here as possible, because it does take a minute to get back. But I think it would do some good to get you back into the cross check, and maybe we even practice some S turns and really feel the glide.
Yeah, that would be good. I haven't really done any S turns.
Okay.
Or not that much turning. I mean, if it's turned, it's only like been a 180, and then I've only done a few 180s. So.
Okay. This is where the rubber meets the road, really, because you got our traffic over there. Because this is when it really matters. Getting to a spot that you find.
Yeah.
Getting to the spot that you need to make work. God forbid you have to, or anybody has to land on the side of one of these hills. I'm pretty sure I would choose to land on top of a tree rather than on the side of one of these bare hills, because you don't want to, you're surely going to tumble down.
Oh, I see.
At least in a tree, I would expect to remain somewhat stationary once you get down there. But you start thinking about these things. So if you had to land on top of trees, what do you think would be the most important thing?
Well, the airspeed, you mean like slow, slump down.
Yeah, to bleed off.
Bleed off the airspeed, and like I think Jacob said, well, go like put the tail down.
Put the tail down?
He said fall backward into the tree.
Interesting. Okay. I hadn't heard anybody say that before, but
I'm not sure.
It's totally worth considering, because different people hear different stories from other people. That's how we kind of learn stuff in this industry, because hopefully we don't have to experience everything along the way before we learn something. So as soon as we get across these wires here, we have this wide open space, and we'll climb up to about 2,500 feet. This is kind of a high traffic area north of Niles Canyon, so we want to get a little bit removed from here. But yeah, I was actually thinking, well, you just reduce your forward airspeed and try to come straight down.
Yeah, okay.
My fear, if you put the tail first, is if you hit the tail rotor and by the time you're sinking down, your rotor RPM, both of the rotor RPMs are going to be lower, but I would just be afraid that it would somehow cause us to twist around, add more movement to an already non-ideal situation. Okay, so we basically get a landing area below us.
Okay.
We're almost to 25.
Flight 16, contact ground flight 4.
And then we'll kind of aim ourselves towards this low area here. So we'll go up to that land spot, this kind of finger that comes out here, And then,
Oh, go across the what, reservoir?
yeah, we'll go across the water.
Okay.
Kind of set ourselves up onto a final in this landing direction.
Okay.
So we're in the direction landing into the wind. This water goes to San Francisco
That's 33 Sierra Romeo.
for drinking water, apparently.
Can we get a wind check?
I'm glad there's some water in there.
Yeah, right?
Short on water.
Hey, a little bit of right pedal to get us in trim there. All right, so there's 25. We can take a left here over the land, and then we will actually look down at the water. See which way the wind's coming from. It looks like it's coming from directly behind us now.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
On the ripples?
Yeah. The ripples are perpendicular.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll make a quick left turn here, and we'll do simulated engine failure, and you'll just glide. And we'll practice keeping your, getting your cross check. All right, we've lost a couple 100 feet.
Way too fast.
All right. So keep in mind we have these wires, so we're headed this direction.
Yeah.
All right, simulated engine failure. So check up a little bit. All right, outside. RPMs,
All right,
airspeed,
airspeed,
outside. RPMs, airspeed, outside. RPM, airspeed, outside. Keep that airspeed at 65 until you've decided where you're going to land.
Where am I
Outside.
landing?
RPM,
Oh, this way.
airspeed, outside. I would go this way because
this
there
way.
are cows that direction.
Oh, okay.
Okay, keep that airspeed. If we make a gentle turn like this, we don't have to adjust the collective too much. I see that fence. We're gonna take our chances. We're gonna do a power recovery. But RPMs, airspeed, outside. Good, everything is good. We wanna be in trim, there we go. See, keep it right here. And we would have plenty of space to do our flare. All right, let's do a power recovery. Okay. And we would end up landing uphill a little bit, but that's not so bad.
Okay.
Let's do a climbing left turn. How'd you feel about that?
That's pretty good. I mean, needs practice.
Yeah.
Still need practice. I mean, I wouldn't say I was totally relaxed.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't expect you to be.
It wasn't like I was sitting in the living room watching TV.
Oh God. Well, I don't ever. If you're totally relaxed in an auto rotation, then I would be afraid for you and myself. Okay, let's get some altitude here so we don't bug the cows. Don't want to make anybody's livestock move. They look pretty relaxed.
Maybe they like helicopters.
Somebody told me once that if cows are laying down, it's not a good sign.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
Tower 6 Mike.
it just looked hot, actually.
28 left.
All right, let's keep our climb. We'll do another one of those, and we'll maybe practice some S-turns.
All right.
So as you could see, we changed our direction a little bit,
Yeah.
and because we didn't change our lift vector too much, we didn't have to adjust the collective too much.
Okay.
So if you can make small turns or keep the rotor system relatively level, that will make your life easier, but you can't always do that. So we'll practice.
Yeah.
Let's shoot an approach to this big open space here.
All right.
So we'll go a bit beyond it. And then we'll just practice some S-turns,
All
going
right.
back and forth. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I am guilty of being inside too much.
Yeah. This is very much a...
Just in general.
When you're able to increase the speed, the frequency of your scan,
Yeah.
the maneuver itself will slow down a lot more.
Oh, okay.
So it will, when you're able to flash down and look back out, look in and look back out, you take in these two parameters here and look back out.
Up to Hayward Tower, make right traffic for taxi Alpha.
That's gotten better with time. I mean, I remember when I first did it, it's like, oh my God, it's like everything's happening so fast.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
now,
for sure.
now it's like, oh, okay, well, we're just kind of cruising in.
Yeah. All right, so level out here. Level out, and we'll turn to the left. But we'll have to do a little bit, maybe we bleed it out and do kind of a teardrop type of thing, okay? All right, simulated engine failure. So nice and easy. Watch your attitude outside in that turn. Outside. RPMs, airspeed, outside. There you go. All right, we're gonna have to bleed it out a little bit. So let's do a right-hand turn. Nice and easy, and outside. It's coming back down. Okay, let's lower that collective a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna have to curve back around. So look at your landing spot. And then we're gonna have to make a little bit more of a turn, keep the nose level. We know that it's gonna drive the rotor up, but that's okay because we had low rotor RPM. Okay. And do another sharp turn to the right. See? Keep our airspeed. See, the important thing here is keeping our airspeed. We kept our nose level the whole time. Let's do a power recovery. You see? Pulling up nice and easy on the power. Get away from the cow. How'd you feel on that one? Did you kind of follow what I was doing?
Yeah. No, I was following.
Good. Those are the kinds of things like...
But yeah, that's good practice.
That we can keep practicing.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, let's do one more. And we can do it straight in if you want. Or we can do a 180, make it a nice simple turn. Ideally, you don't want to have to deal with so many turns. But being able to anticipate what the RPM is going to do, being able to look down, cross-check quick enough, make sure you're not pulling back. In those turns, it's really easy to lose track of your attitude, and you're going to bleed off your airspeed, or you get super fast. And when your airspeed gets wonky, your rotor RPM gets wonky, everything gets out of control.
Yeah.
So the key to those S turns and any turns really is keeping your airspeed consistent.
Which is kind of keeping the attitude. I mean, looking outside and keeping that, which I'm not doing. So
if you're turning, even like you can even lose track of your altitude when there's these hills around and there's changing terrain. You can lose track of your attitude if you're only looking outside. But double checking, I think maybe that's why your airspeed indicator is right here.
Okay.
The first thing you look down and see. Just double check that you're keeping that attitude the same. So you decide, you want to practice more turns or one more straight in?
Let's do a little bit of turns. I mean,
we can start straight in and then do a little bit of S turns back and forth.
Yeah.
Nothing super huge.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Or do you think I should just be practicing my scan better?
Yeah, I think it's really important. Take these long glides to practice that scan. Figuring out how long you can look outside to pick out your spot and then check your parameters, and then look outside and then check your parameters.
Santana 29 to St. Carlos Tower 119.0.
Over to Tower Santana 29. Have a great day. Thanks for letting us transition.
No problem.
Also good to get an idea of how far you have to glide at this altitude at 2,500 feet. All right, simulated engine failure. Okay, outside, RPMs, airspeed, outside. A little bit of left pedal for there. There we go. RPMs, airspeed, outside. RPMs, airspeed, outside. There you go. Do a nice gentle turn. Good attitude control. Rotor's in the green. Airspeed's good. Outside. Okay, watch that nose. You're dropping it just a little bit. And when you pull the nose back, it'll put it back up in the rotor system. There you go. Watch that nose. Okay, go to the left a little bit. There's a cow right there. Watch that airspeed. Okay, let's do a power recovery. There we go.
I didn't see the cow at all.
Oh, that black one?
Yeah, no, I saw it now, but I
she's
didn't.
sitting there with
but
her
I
baby.
wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see that until you mentioned it.
Okay. What were you looking at? What
I
did
was
you
just
find
looking at
yourself?
the general field.
Well, that was looking super great. Let's make a climbing turn back towards Hayward. That was looking really nice. You were doing the nice steady turns. At about 100 feet, you started pulling back on the cyclic. So by the time we did a power recovery, we had 92% RPM and about 50 knots.
Okay, so...
Which is still doable. Let's do a little left pedal. Still doable, but on the fringes of what you should be accepting for flaring parameters.
Yeah.
So,
Too high.
Understandably, you got distracted. You were doing great in the glide. But part of that scan has to be, okay, what am I headed towards? What is my landing spot that I'm looking for?
Yeah.
And if you don't pick that out, then you can't know if there's a cow standing there, or if there's a fence there, or if there's a tower you didn't see. On the other side of that, in one of those areas, there are a bunch of places, it looks like places where people had planted trees.
Yeah.
And some of them are just saplings.
Yeah.
Others of them are saplings next to rebar.
Oh.
And it's like 4 feet or 5 feet of rebar sticking out of the ground that you really can't see until you get super close. They look like sticks. But that kind of thing is something that would really make your life miserable. Especially if there's a more open field, 20 feet away that you could have aimed toward. So picking a spot helps you, add to your scan. You're looking for obstacles that are going to make your life miserable. It would be horrible to make it down to the ground and you flare and everything,
and then you
only to hit it.
Over.
Can you imagine hitting a cow in your flare? You would die.
Yeah.
Just like if you hit a cow in a small car, they would come right through the windscreen. Unless we landed on top of them, then we would tumble over and maybe die.
In any case, it would be bad. It's like
It's
like hitting a moose. Actually, probably worse.
It would be really bad. So, good practice though. Why don't we go up this way and up this ridge line here? I think it's a little more. Do you have a line there for Hayward?
One Lima, contact Oakland Tower 123.
Hello, 853, and thanks for the 45 man. You're coming up.
There you go. All right. Let's see if we can fly at 80 knots. So keep our altitude. Show me a nice acceleration to 80 knots. Keep our 2,000 feet. house down there with grass on the roof. Cool. We're getting some turbulence off of these hilltops here. I guess at this location we could probably climb up a little bit to get above that turbulence. So maybe come up to 2,500. Heard a lot of stories of that Mylar balloon is scary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Mylar balloons
Like
around
in tail rotors?
Well, yeah.
Or anything.
Yeah.
Main rotor too.
Well, main rotor maybe not so much, but if it ties up, if it gets around the mast and it ties up that rotation there.
Yeah.
But the tail rotor for sure. I have seen many Mylar balloons floating around 2,500, 3,000 feet.
Oh, really?
Many.
That's where they kind of end up.
I think so. I'm convinced that that is about what the balance of helium or whatever they put inside them, where it runs out. But I've seen more, like, they're pretty scary. I've seen them flying over Hayward, over the airport.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
I've seen them out in the middle of nowhere down by Salinas. Really, it is pretty scary. Those look like mountain biking trails.
Yeah. So this is regional park, is that what?
I believe so, yes. That's a great confined area down there.
I think we might have gone there.
Yeah.
We've gone down one of these places.
This is a good spot to kind of vary the training. A lot of times, if we, come here once a day or something, it's not too much of a bother to anybody. I'll have to keep this one in mind.
Oh, not too often, yeah.
Yeah, if we just don't come too often, or, right at the wrong time.
Right.
We have to keep our surroundings, be aware of our surroundings. All right, I had turned this down, I think.
Okay, so we're 8 miles.
Yeah, we should. I'll let you get us in there. We should get ATIS and...
28 left in use, landing into party runway is 28. Advise on initial contact, you have ATIS information, Papa.
Still at Papa.
Hayward Airport information, Papa, 2251 Zulu, wind 260 at 9er, visibility 10, sky conditions few at 1,400. Temperature 19er, 2.13, altimeter 3001. Visual approach, runway 28 left in use, landing into party runway is 28. Advise on initial contact, you have ATIS information, Papa.
You have Hayward in sight?
Yes.
Hayward Tower, helicopter 4790 Hotel, 7 miles to the east at 2,400, inbound for Meridian with Papa.
Helicopter 4790 Hotel, Hayward Tower, and a right base for taxiway Zulu, report Cal State.
Right base for taxiway Zulu, report Cal State, 4790 Cal State.
All right, full car Pete. That's how the green.
So do you have have any other hobbies that kind of relate to this? Flying?
Just the RC, just RC helicopters.
Yeah.
66025 Hayward Tower, state departure request, please.
Request, 28 left, close.
Do the RC, like how big are they? Are they big?
Left close traffic, runway 28
like
left, clear
5.
for takeoff.
I have like a 7-foot rotor.
Whoa, that must be
It's
cool.
turbine, yeah, it's turbine.
That sounds really cool. I don't think I've ever seen an RC helicopter.
025, go ahead with the readback.
I've seen an RC jet.
28 left,
Yeah,
close
it's
traffic.
that kind of
Ready,
turbine.
cleared for
Yeah,
takeoff.
cool.
66025.
Do you feel this leaning to the right a little bit?
Do I feel like I'm leaning to the right a little bit?
Hayward
Yeah.
Tower, Archer 3576
No, am I right? It's in the right a little bit?
It feels kind of like it.
Inbound for the option. with
Sometimes that means that we're out of trim.
Archer 3576 Juliet, Hayward Tower, slide towards Toll Plaza and
There you
report to
go.
Toll Plaza.
Do you have
for
Cal
sequencing.
State?
I have Cal State.
Okay.
Right, headed right.
Report at Toll Plaza, 76 Juliet.
That to be 1500 at Cal State.
I don't think so, but it is kind of...
That's a Class Charlie show.
No. It is... I guess it is a Class Charlie show. Yeah. So I mean, if we were at 1500, we would be in these people's backyard, so
Yeah.
within reason.
So just past Cal State, then just kind of descending after that.
Yeah, I mean, just outside, you can tell him. We actually hit Hayward's airspace first, which is ground to 1500, or to 1499. So that's why they tell us. So just past Cal State is where we're going to have to be below 1500.
Yeah.
This is 025, runway 28 left, clear for the option.
28 left, clear for the option, 025. Hayward Tower, helicopter 4790 Hotel, reporting Cal State.
Helicopter 90 Hotel, thank you. Continue inbound for taxiway Zulu.
Inbound for taxiway Zulu, 4790 Hotel. Hayward Tower, Archer 3576 Juliet, reporting over Toll Plaza.
Archer 76 Juliet, roger, enter midfield left downwind for runway 28 left.
Enter midfield, downwind 28 left, 76 Juliet.
Helicopter 980 Hotel, Cessna traffic, wing up, left base for runway 28 left, taxiway Zulu B Meridian, clear to land.
Clear to land, taxiway Zulu B Meridian, 4790 Hotel. Traffic in sight.
Okay, so keep your speed up. 75 knots is good for an approach.
All right.
Just to kind of give him a consistent timing.
Wait a minute. So there is somebody on at the.
Here, head straight towards
Yeah.
the approach end.
But there's another. Is
Yes.
there?
He's entering the left downwind, right? So go ahead and head straight for the approach end. Do you see him over
Yeah,
there?
that's
Because he
shiny.
reported the toll plaza.
Yeah.
And so he told
Okay.
him to enter a left downwind.
Okay, so I kind of need to kind of beat him.
Well, you
More or
you
less.
kind of. I mean, he can
He's going
always
to cross midfield and then go down.
he can always extend is downwind. Like don't, it's not your job to make the timing. I think more importantly, it would be to remain consistent on your approach. So by now, the guys at Hayward know just about, like they know you're an R22, they know you're approaching anywhere from 60 to 80 knots. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
He's entering a left downwind, midfield.
Archer 76 Juliet, helicopter traffic off your left-hand side will be landing taxiway Zulu. Report traffic in sight.
Traffic in sight, 76 Juliet.
Archer 76 Juliet, thank you. Pass behind that traffic, runway 28 left, clear for the option, then make left, close traffic.
28 left, clear for the option, 76 Juliet.
There you go, that's a good, getting a steep approach by now. Like I told the previous student, as we're looking for our, settling with power parameters, the greater than 300 feet per minute rate of descent, and all that stuff, as long as you have airspeed, you can descend at 1,500 feet per minute if you want.
Yeah.
You need to. It's when we lower our airspeed and we start coming down to land, knowing that we need to pull in our power.
Number 2, follow Archer traffic, 1 mile
That's
final,
when
runway 28 left,
we
clear
need
for the
to
option.
really be concerned about that rate of descent.
Clear for the option, 025. Hayward Tower, Challenger 2926 Echo is with you on the visual.
That angle.
Challenger 2926 Echo, Hayward Tower, wind 28013, following a Cessna in the downwind, runway 28 left, clear to land.
28 left, clear land, Challenger 2926 Echo.
Nice approach.
Okay.
Right, you're clear left.
Clear left.
Nice and easy. Brisk walk on the hover taxi.
Information Quebec now, current wind 27012, altimeter 3000.
Hayward Tower, this is Cessna 70 Sierra will be ready for takeoff on a Charlotte Alpha. Runway 28 left, requesting a left and wind departure.
Okay, calling standby, controller change in progress.
Very nice. Up to 75. Oh. I'll start the up counter on that.
And Hayward Tower, 51 Charlie's with you, visual, 28 left.
Oh, you already sounded it.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Right.
Whatever your
Is it 1?
your system is.
At 1.
Citation 51 Charlie, Hayward Tower, you're number 2.
I'm going to go ahead and lean the mixture.
3.5 miles, runway 28
Something, I don't know if Mark did it with you before, but something we've been doing to try not to foul up the spark plugs.
Oh, okay. No, we hadn't talked about that.
You're downwind, you're going to be following a citation that's about 6 mile final for runway 28 left.
Extend downwind, 76 Juliet.
When I had, when I learned to fly the R22, I was flying Blackhawks at the same time.
That's
And
a big difference.
I showed they auto-rotate a lot differently. But I showed up with gloves and boots on, and my instructor, as t-shirt and pants and tennis shoes, and he was like, "What are you doing?"
Well, you didn't show up with a helmet.
No, I didn't. I didn't have my own headset yet. But yeah, no, I didn't show up with a helmet. It would have been too much.
Left downwind departure.
But I do kind of miss flying with gloves. I miss the uniform
170 Sierra.
in some ways.
My hands get sweaty, so
Yeah, that's
I
great.
lose control of the throttle.
Correction, stand by for arriving traffic.
Standing by for arriving traffic 70 Sierra.
Cessna 025, extend your downwind following an Archer 76 Juliet. Turn back to the downwind and you're turning inside of a citation right now.
How much did you,
downwind,
you know, just...
It's about halfway, I think.
And Archer 76 Juliet, continue.
That's about 30 seconds.
To runway 28 right, please.
28 right, 76 Juliet.
Okay, 76 Juliet, your traffic was the follow is crossing overhead now at 1,500 citation. You have them in sight?
Traffic inside, 76 Juliet.
Archer 76 Juliet, thank you. Base, turn approved. You can change runway 28 right, runway 28 right, clip the option and make right traffic.
28 right, live for the option, right traffic, 76 Juliet.
Challenger 26 Echo, say parking.
Park Avion, Challenger 2926 Echo.
Challenger 26 Echo, right turn, taxiway Foxtrot, cross runway 28 right, contact ground point 4.
Right turn on Foxtrot, cross 28 right, and then over to ground.
And these guys. Oh, I forget that.
On this